Hello everyone. In this session we are going to see one numerical on fast decoupled load flow technique. So I have taken the problem which we have used in the Newton-Raphson method. So let us see the problem statement once again. Consider a 3-bus system. Each of the 3 lines has a series impedance of 0.02 plus J0.08 per unit and a total shunt admittance of J0.02 per unit. The specified quantities of the buses are given below. Here we have 3 buses 1, 2 and 3. First bus is a slack bus because they have given the voltage magnitude and the phase angle. Voltage magnitude is 1.04 and phase angle is 0 degrees. Okay. So it is in the rectangular form. If you convert into the polar, it will be 1.04 at an angle 0 degrees. Second bus is PQ bus because here voltage and the angle is not specified. The specified quantities are the real power and the reactive power. So it is a PQ bus. And the third bus is a PV bus. So here real power we know and the voltage magnitude is also given, and they are asking us to find out the QG3. So the third bus is a PV bus. Controllable reactive power source is available at bus 3 with the constraint QG3 is in the range between 0 and 1.5 per unit. Solve the problem using load flow technique. Okay, so let us see how to solve this problem. However, we have done for other load flow techniques. Here also we need to form the Y bus. Since I have taken the same problem like what I have explained in the Newton-Raphson method, the formation of Y bus will be same. So let us see that. So given a 3-bus system, it is having a series impedance of this much and shunt admittance J0.02 per unit. Given value is the series impedance. So you can calculate the series admittance by taking the reciprocal of this value. So that is 1 by Z series, that is equal to, you will be getting 12.13 at an angle minus 75.96. We know each off diagonal element will be equal to the negative sign of the admittance connected in series with the line. So here you have 12.13 at an angle minus 75.96. So first convert this into a rectangular form. So then the negative value of the Y series will be represented by off diagonal element of the Y bus matrix. So let us write minus of, if you convert this value into the rectangular form, you will get 2.941 minus J11.764. So if you multiply with the negative sign, you will have minus 2.941 plus J11.764. If you represent this in polar form, it will be 12.13 at an angle 104.03 degrees. So now we need to find out the each diagonal element of the Y bus matrix, which is also called as self-component. So here you know it is a 3-bus system, and from each bus 2 transmission lines will be terminated. So that means each transmission line will have a series impedance of this much. Okay, so then the shunt admittance of J0.01, because it is the total shunt admittance given. So half of the value will be connected J0.01, and this side also J0.01 will be connected, and here you have a series impedance. So that means 2 times of this value. Okay. So if you take the rectangular form, 2 times of 2.941 minus J11.764 plus J0.01. That means one line value will be equal to 2.941 minus J11.764 plus J0.01. Since you have a 2 lines, you will be multiplying that value by 2. Therefore, this value becomes 2 times of this value, that is Y series, plus half of the shunt admittance value, that is J0.01, which results into 24.23 at an angle 75.95 degree. So by this we have finished all the off diagonal quantities and the diagonal quantities of the Y bus matrix. So now we can form the Y bus matrix. This is the Y bus matrix in terms of the polar notation. We know for load flow analysis, it is better to use the quantities in the polar form. But in the fast decoupled method, we have used the rectangular form and we have neglected totally the conductance part. So that is why all the equations will be having only the susceptance part. So if you could recall the equations, we have the final equations as delta P by mod V is equal to B prime matrix. Okay, so it is the B coefficient matrix which is multiplied by delta del. Similarly, if you could recall the reactive power equation, delta Q by mod V is equal to B double prime and delta mod V. Right? So here we need to form the B prime and the B double prime matrices. So for that we need to represent this Y bus matrix in terms of the rectangular form. But while calculating the B prime and the B double prime matrices, we have to take some of the assumptions. What are the assumptions? One of the assumptions that will be applicable for our problem is like we are not supposed to consider the effect of the shunt admittance. That means we have to calculate the diagonal quantities by eliminating the shunt admittance part. Okay, so that you have to recalculate the diagonal part alone. Then you have to convert this Y bus matrix into the rectangular form. Okay, so let us do that. So formation of B prime and B double prime matrices, and here we need to form the Y bus in rectangular form by neglecting the effect of the shunt admittance. So for that we need to calculate, this is Y11, this is Y22 and Y33. Okay, so we don't have any problem with the off diagonal elements because we have not added any shunt admittance for the off diagonal element. So we need to change only the diagonal quantities. So all are equal in magnitude. So Y11 equal to Y22, that is equal to Y33. So now you will be just multiplying the 2 times of the series admittance. Okay, we are not going to add that plus J0.01 here. So that will be equal to 2 times of, this is the Y series, that will result into 5.882 minus J23.528. Anyway, we need to represent this Y bus in the rectangular form. So I am not interested in converting this into a polar form. So let us form the Y bus in rectangular form. Y bus is equal to, first let us mark all the diagonal quantities. In off diagonal quantities there won't be any change, just you will be converting this polar form into a rectangular form. So that will be minus 2.941 plus J11.764, and remaining all other off diagonal elements also will have the same value. So this is the required Y bus matrix. Once you know the Y bus matrix, for us it is easy to get the B prime and the B double prime matrices. Okay, so these are nothing but susceptance part of these values. Okay, let us recall the concepts related to this B prime and the B double prime matrices. So we know that the B prime matrix is equal to the B double prime, so which is equal to minus B matrix. So the negative value of the susceptance present in the Y bus matrix will be taken as a elements of the B matrices. We know the B prime matrix will be formed for both PQ as well as the PV buses. So that is why the B prime matrix will be formed among buses 2 and 3. Okay, so the dimension of the B prime matrix will be a 2 by 2 matrix. Now coming to the B double prime matrix, B double prime matrix will be formed only for the PQ buses. Okay, these points we got from the 2 equations that what we have derived. Okay, so here the first equation is delta P by mod V, which is equal to B prime matrix into delta del, right? So the second equation is delta Q by mod V. So that is equal to B double prime into delta mod V. So here if you see left hand side, so this B prime matrix is associated with the number of P. So number of P's means in the PQ bus also we will have a P value, and in the PV bus also we will have a P value. So that is why this B prime dimension will depends on both the buses, that is PQ as well as PV buses we have to consider. If you look at the second equation, this B double prime matrix is related only with the Q value. So this Q value we will get if it is a PQ bus. Okay, we won't have any Q value if the bus is a PV bus. That is why the B double prime value will be calculated only for the PQ buses, not the PV buses. Okay, so here it is a typing mistake. Here it is not formed for the PV buses. Okay, it is formed only for the PQ buses, that is only bus 2. So let us form the B prime matrix. So as I said, it will be formed for buses 2 and 3. So the dimension of the matrix will be 2 by 2 matrix. So now how we have to form this B prime matrix means, you just go back to the Y bus matrix and get the corresponding values. Means this value is B22. Okay, that is minus B22. Why it is minus B22? It is a minus B matrix. So this will be minus B23 and this will be minus B32 and this will be minus B33. Okay, so those values we have to bring and we have to fill in this matrix. Okay, already values are available, just you have to read only the susceptance part. So let us go back and see the values. We need only the second bus and the third bus values. So this is the second bus and this is the third bus. This is the second bus and this is the third bus. Okay, so now this value is B22 and this is B23 and this is B32, B33. But we have to pick these values with the negative sign. So if you pick the value with the negative sign, this becomes positive 23.528 and this becomes negative minus 11.764 and this becomes negative minus 11.764 and this becomes positive. Okay, so wherever we have a negative, it becomes positive. Wherever we have positive, it becomes negative value. Okay, so let us fill the values in the B prime matrix. So if you fill the values, B22 value is 23.528 minus 11.764 and 23.528. So similarly, we are going to form for the B double prime matrix also. B double prime matrix will be formed only for the PQ buses. So that is second bus and second bus. You will be taking only B22 value. So already here we have B22 value, that is 23.528. So that's it. We got the two matrices B prime and the B double prime matrices. So now in this equation delta P by mod V, so we got this B prime matrix. Now we have to determine this delta del value. Voltage values will be given for the system. Some values will be given in the problem itself. Some values we need to assume. And you need to find out what is the change in the real power. Okay, so that is delta P. So therefore, if you know this matrix and this matrix, you can find out this change in the phase angle. So for that, let us see what are the values we have and what are the values that we are going to assume. Let us assume V2 at 0th iteration will be equal to 1 at an angle 0 degrees for PQ bus, because for PQ bus we won't be knowing any voltage, so always it will be assumed as a flat voltage profile. Okay, so that you know very well, flat voltage profile. So the next one will be the del 2 value. Actually, this represent mod V2 0 at an angle del 2 0. Okay, so here itself I have taken del 2 0 is equal to 0 degrees. This is not for PV, this is for PQ bus. And similarly for PV bus also you won't be knowing the del value. So del 3 value also will be equal to 0 degrees for a PV bus. Okay, so the next one is for PV bus, it is a given value. Okay, so the mod V3 is given as a 1.04 for a PV bus. So this is the given value and this also a given value. Whichever magnitudes they have given, they will retain the same value for n number of iterations. That means this also, okay, V3 power 0 is this much, means for V3 power n iterations also the value will not change. Okay, so that will be 1.04. Now let us recall the equations. So that is we know delta P by mod V is B prime matrix into delta del. So we have to determine this one here. So that means you should know this value and this value. This matrix already we got. So now we should get this value. Actually, this equation will be represented for both the PQ as well as the PV buses. So that means the same equation we can expand for second bus as well as the third bus. Let us do that. That is delta P2 by mod V2 and delta P3 by mod V3 of 0th iteration is equal to B prime matrix into delta del to delta 3. So that means for second bus and the third bus we are going to find out this change in the phase angle. So for that you need to find out the delta P2 and delta P3 value. Okay, so what about this mod V20, V30? Those values already we know. Okay, so mod V20 is 1 per unit and mod V30 is 1.04. So if you determine these two values, then we can get these two quantities. Okay, this is the first equation. And if you see the second equation, we have delta Q by mod V is equal to B double prime into delta mod V. Okay. So here basically it refers to that this equation will be with respect to the number of PQ buses. But here the problem is they have given the third bus as a PV bus. Okay. And they have given the Q limits also. Okay. Whenever they provide the Q limits, you have to take a pause and check, is there any possibility of reconsidering this PV bus as a PQ bus? Okay, so when we will reconsider this PV as a PQ bus, whenever these Q limits are violating. So that means before going to put this equation, you need to check the Q limits. Okay, so if Q is falling within the given range, okay, that is 0 to 1.5, then you can consider, yes, given bus is a PV bus, so you have only one PQ bus. Suppose if it is violating the Q limits, then we have to retreat that bus as a PQ bus, and this equation will become again, this will become delta Q2 and delta Q3. Okay, so here this PV bus Q limits will not affect this equation, first equation. Why? Because we don't have any Q value here, whether it is a PV bus or whether it is a PQ bus. You need to find out for both the second bus as well as the third bus. But whenever you come to this equation, if you consider the third bus as a PQ bus, one more term extra will add here, that is delta Q3 by mod V. Otherwise, you can proceed the problem with this equation itself. Okay. So for that reason, before going to start with all these calculations, okay, delta P2, delta P3, delta Q2, all these things we have to find out. So before doing all these calculations, let us have a check what about this Q limits. If they have not provided any Q limits, directly you can go with the calculation of delta P2. Okay, since they have provided the Q limits, before starting with the actual problem, you need to check the Q limits. So let us check for the Q limits. This is the equation for Q. We are going to check the Q limits for the third bus. So let us take n is equal to 3 and expand the equation here. All the del values are at 0 degrees. So you can eliminate all these del values. So the equation becomes like this. Here V3 value is 1.04 and V1 value is 1. And mod Y3 value, you know, it is at 12.13. Okay. Mod Y32 also 12.13 and it is 24.23. Okay, so we have all these values. So let us do the substitution and simplify. We have got the Q3 value as 0.436. Okay, so but we need to find out the QG3. So therefore the QG3 value is demand plus the calculated value, which gives you the value as 1.056 per unit. Okay, so this is obviously within the limits only. Okay, same set of calculations we have performed in the Newton-Raphson method itself. In the fast decoupled method also, first you need to check whether the given bus is a PV bus or the PQ bus. Once you confirm that yes, it is a PV bus, then start the actual procedure. Okay, so now we have confirmed the given bus remains act as a PV bus. So now let us start with the actual content. So we are going to calculate the delta P2 and delta P3. Solve the equation 1 for delta del 2 and delta del 3. So calculation of delta P2 at 0th iteration, that is P2 specified minus P2 calculated. So we know the P2 specified value is, it is generation minus demand of that particular bus. So the two values are given. Generation is 0.5, demand is 0. So it retains the value 0.5 per unit. So the calculated value, we know the equation, the P2 calculated is equal to sigma q is equal to 1 to 3 because the number of buses equal to 3. Mod V suffix P, VQ, YPQ, cos theta PQ plus del Q minus del P. Okay. Let us expand and substitute the corresponding values and simplify. So we will get the value as a minus 0.23 per unit. Now we can find out the delta P2. So delta P2 is equal to P2 specified value is 0.5 minus of the P2 calculated value is minus 0.23, which is equal to 0.73 per unit. Now let us calculate delta P3 naught. Delta P3 is P3 specified minus calculated, and the specified quantity is generation minus demand of that particular bus, that is equal to minus 1.5 per unit, and the P3 calculated value is represented by this equation. So if you expand this equation, these are the set of equations we will get. Okay, we know all the values. By substituting and simplifying, we will get the P3 calculated value as a 0.12 per unit. So therefore, the delta P3 value will be equal to minus 1.62 per unit. So with this, we have finished the calculation of delta P2 and delta P3. Let us substitute these values in equations and calculate the delta del 2 and delta del 3. So let us write the equation 1 again. This first term will become 0.73 by 1. So the second term will be delta P3 we have calculated as minus 1.62, and the V3 value is the PV bus. The PV bus voltage is given as a 1.04. Okay, delta del 2 naught, delta del 3 naught. So now let us write whatever we have calculated the B prime matrix. So let us write here. These are the unknowns, remaining all values are the known values. So by sending this matrix, it will become B prime matrix inverse. Multiply with this matrix, then find out the values of delta del 2 and delta del 3. If you simplify the B prime inverse matrix, you will get these values, which is multiplied by 0.73 minus 1.557. Okay, so these are after finding the inverse. If you do the matrix multiplication, okay, so this value into this value plus this value into this value will give you the delta del 2 naught. So that will give us minus 0.03 radians, and delta del 3 naught will be this value into 0.73 plus this value into minus 1.557 will give us delta del 3 value as minus 0.068 radians. Okay, usually we will be representing the phase angles in terms of the degrees, not in terms of the radians. Okay, so let us convert these radians into the degrees. So to convert that, you need to multiply this radiant into 180 by pi. So if you multiply, you are going to get 0.172 degrees. Similarly, we are going to get the changes in the phase angle 3 in degrees. So that is, this value should be multiplied by 180 by pi. So that result into minus 3.896. Right? So now finally, you need to find out the phase angle after the first iteration, okay, or at the end of the first iteration. Similarly, the del 3 value at the end of the first iteration. Del 2 1 is equal to del 2 naught plus delta del 2 naught, that is equal to minus 0.172 degrees. And del 3 1 is equal to del 3 naught plus delta del 3 naught, that is equal to minus 3.896 degrees. Okay, so these are the required quantities. Okay, so basically what is our objective of this problem is, we need to find out the what is the operating voltage at all the buses. For slack bus, we know both voltage as well as the angle, that is 1.04 at an angle 0 degrees. But for the second bus, we don't know the magnitude value and we don't know the angle also. But for third bus, you know the voltage magnitude as a 1.04, but you don't know the value of the del 3. By performing this first equation, you got the del 2 value and the del 3 value. Okay. You have one more unknown mod V2. This mod V2 now we are going to find out. Once you find out this value, then you will get the complete voltage equations at all the buses. Calculation of delta Q2. We know again delta Q2 is Q2 specified minus Q2 calculated. Q2 specified is again Qg2 minus Qd2, that gives us 1 point per unit. And the Q2 calculated value, if you expand this equation, this is the equation we will get. So here if you see, I have represented here del 11. So by now we have got all the delta values, yes or no? So del 11 value we know, that is 0 degrees, and del 2 1 just now we have calculated, del 3 1 also just now we have calculated. Okay. Since we have calculated all these values, now we are going to replace the old values by the updated values. So that is why this becomes a del 1 after first iteration, del 2 1 and del 2 1 everywhere I have represented with the first iteration. Okay. So here specially you no need to represent del 11 for the slack bus. As I said, once the values are given for any bus, that value will be fixed for n number of iterations. So now let us substitute the values. Minus, so V2 value is 1 and V1 is 1.04 because it is a slack bus. Mod Y21 is 12.13 and theta 21 is 104.03. So here if you see, the del 1 value is 0 degrees, so that I have not represented here. Minus of, we got the del 2 value as a minus 0.172. Okay. So this becomes minus of minus 0.172 gives us plus 0.172. Okay. So like that, this and this will get cancelled. So here if you substitute, this value becomes minus 3.896 plus this value become again minus of minus this value will become 0.172. Okay. So finally if you simplify, we will get this as a minus 1.135. We will get Q2 value as minus 1.135 per unit. So let us substitute the values in delta Q2. So we will get the delta Q2 value as 2.135 per unit. Right. So once you got the Q2 value, then directly you can go for the substitution in the main equation. So we know delta Q by mod V as a V double prime into delta mod V2. Since we are calculating for the PQ bus, our second bus is a PQ bus. So instead of the P value, I have represented the second bus. Now the delta Q2 value, we have got 2.135. And the mod V2 value is a 1 per unit. Let us substitute the B double prime matrix that we have got as a 23.528. So now we need to find out the delta mod V2 value. By simplifying these equations, we got delta mod V2 naught as 0.09 per unit. So like however you have done for the phase angle, here also V2 value after the first iteration will be equal to V2 value at 0th iteration plus the change in the voltage magnitude. So we know the voltage of the second bus is considered as a 1 per unit plus the change in the voltage is 0.09. So therefore the actual value that the bus is operating after the first iteration is 1.09 per unit. Okay. With this we have got all the voltage magnitudes and the phase angles also. Now let us mark all the voltages at the end of the first iteration. So this value already we have. So we haven't done anything for this slack bus. Now let us see the second bus voltage. Second bus voltage we have got as 1.09. So that is 1.09. The del 2 value is minus 0.172 degree. Similarly, the V3 voltage can be represented as 1.03. This is the given value. Only you have to substitute the del 3 calculated value, that is minus 3.89 degrees. Okay. I hope it is clear. Thank you.